the president aware that the most popular leader of Pakistan, Imran Khan, has been in jail now for the last 3 years, and lots of atrocities has happened? But is the president at all interested in paying a little attention to Pakistan beside this?
Well, I will answer that, noting that in his address to Congress, the president announced the arrest of an ISIS-K operative and planner responsible for the deaths, as I mentioned earlier today, of the 13 brave American service members and over 160 Afghans at Abbey Gate, that he is now in custody. And we extend our gratitude to the government of Pakistan. We do, for their partnership in bringing Mohammed Sharifullah to justice. We would also now refer you, for those who want more information, to the Department of Justice for further information regarding his case. We have, regarding Pakistan and the nature of our relationship, we have a common interest, obviously, in fighting terrorism. And the arrest of this terrorist also illustrated that U.S.-Pakistan cooperation on counterterrorism remains vitally important. So thank you, sir. All right, so now, Andrea, we'll move on here.
Thank you very much, and thank you and welcome. And I think all of us are very grateful that the briefings are starting and that you were
good. I hope to. I won't always necessarily. I hope my goal is to make you all happy. Of course, that will be impossible. And I appreciate your patience with me today, as I'm learning clearly the depth. This room, we've got an overflow room. We have. I don't want to say any numbers. I pledge not to give you numbers. But it's a remarkable thing. The American people care about foreign policy. They care about national policy. And your career in particular has kind of taught Americans that this information is interesting, it's usable, it's important. And so it's a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you. And just thank you for your commitment to this.
Yes.
On Ukraine, does the Zelensky letter, which includes an apology and various commitments to peace, which were praised by Mr. Witkoff at the White House today, does that letter meet the standard to the Secretary that these talks can proceed? And will the Secretary be attending the talks that are now contemplated next week in Saudi Arabia? And if you could give us any reaction to the Russian attack on a hotel today, where American aid workers did escape, but at least 4 people that we know of were killed.
Right.
If I could just also throw in.
All right, a third one.
Does the letter of apology solve some of the issues to the extent that the Secretary believes intelligence and the weapons pipeline and intelligence sharing could be restored?
Well, that's a road a bit too far. We will not discuss issues of intelligence or diplomatic agreements or the sharing of information. That I will not discuss. But from the start, after the Friday situation with President Zelensky, and Secretary Rubio was in the room, it was a surprise that his behavior took a turn, and in the Oval Office. And it was clear, as the president had stated publicly, that he was not ready for peace, that there was one thing that he should not do, and that was, damage the nature of what was transpiring there, because we want to help him. We want to help Ukraine. We have been the biggest supporters of Ukraine in this conflict than anyone else in the world. We have made it very clear from the start how we feel about this situation. But even after that, even that same night and continuing on, there was an open door that he wasn't ready for peace. If he becomes ready for peace, he can come back to the table. It was certainly not something that eliminated the potential to continue. But what it did do was highlight, and clearly with the follow-up message from President Zelensky, there was an awareness that, as he said, it did not go as planned, right? It was not a situation that was good or helpful, and as I'm paraphrasing here, and clearly indicated that he was ready to come back. I have not spoken in the last few hours with the Secretary, but I do know that his posture has been the same, is that we have a goal. And we see what's happening. We want to make sure that certainly the president understood what was happening, that the store was still unlocked, that he could return as we were looking at the nature of what was transpiring in Ukraine, that it's a stalemate. The secretary has called it a meat grinder.